We're actually recording.
Woohoo! Woo-hoo. We're doing a twofer tonight.
A twofer?
Record 2 episodes.
We do.
Because life's about to get crazy for us coming up.
School's a thing, guys.
Yep. But I'm Catherine.
I'm Megan.
And we're 2 drunk roommates. Yeah, I almost just left it as we.
I know.
And we're
not doing too hot today.
It's fine. It's fine. I popped an allergy pill.
I popped one earlier.
So when you hear the sniffles, don't come out for us, okay?
We don't
Let us live.
We're not sick. We just have allergies.
No, it's not COVID.
Yes, it's not COVID.
It's very much just the weather changing.
Yeah, it's currently raining right now.
And my body hates that.
My body is like, why do you
It riots against that. How's your week been? Mine's been pretty average, actually.
Pretty average? Mine's been alright. I mean, I'm just working same as always.
Yeah.
On my spare time, I've been playing a lot of Webkins. Yes,
Me
you
too.
heard that right.
Yep.
We have started Webkins.
You can get it for free.
You
Webkins.
can! They have like a little free trial thing where
Same
you get
with
a free
Club
pet.
Penguin.
Oh yes, I've started playing Club Penguin again.
And I've gotten back into Sims. So
yes,
we're
Sims
really
as well.
You can tell that we're so excited to go back to school. It's so great.
I am so not ready. I don't have any of my books or anything.
I haven't even opened the website to see what my classes are doing.
Well, see, I have that on campus job, so I have to open it. But I choose to ignore like anything that's like class related. I'm like, oh, this has nothing to do with work. Okay.
I respect that. So what are you drinking tonight?
I am actually drinking an Angry Orchard hard cider. I took a break from the hard liquor, and I was like, a hard cider. Hard cider. I can't even speak. Sounds delicious right now. And it is.
And I love Angry Orchard because it's gluten-free. And fun fact, I am also gluten-free, not by choice. This is definitely not, like,
I've gone
that kind of health decision.
I've gone gluten-free for her somewhat.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are times I cave and I eat.
No, it's okay.
Like,
my boyfriend does that too.
In my room, just like...
Yeah, like a squirrel.
No, a gremlin. I turned into a gremlin, I swear to God.
I mean, but then it comes back to haunt you.
It really does. Like, after not eating gluten for a while, I eat gluten and I feel disgusting.
I know.
You can't have gluten.
Listen, I remember it. That's the worst thing about being, like, having to be gluten-free for health is because people will ask me what I remember, and I go, yeah, don't bring that up, okay? I still miss it. But I am the best person to take to any Olive Garden or...
Because she'll order the breadsticks for you.
And I'll encourage you to get extra. I'll hype you up.
She encourages me to eat so much bread, and I
say, get that bread, lady.
I'm like, I need this in my life, but also I'm going to gain so many pounds from pure bread.
I'm not sorry.
I'm almost done playing Webkins, I promise.
It's fine. She's playing on her phone. I was too before we started recording.
They have a mobile app. I'm doomed.
Free download.
If they do that,
we are by no means sponsored, but Webkins.
Oh my God! I wish Webkins would sponsor us.
Can you imagine?
I would be the happiest person on the planet. I'm already planning on buying like 7 pets.
So our topic this week is alcohol. Or alcohol related.
Oh, mine's straight up alcohol, man. Like there's no related about it. It's moonshine.
Well, mine's Carrie Nation, so you can tell.
Your person hates me.
Who is like, I don't want to say extra brainiac, but
you're an extra brainiac. I almost did like how it was made, and I was like, I probably shouldn't promote that.
Yeah. I will say, I did dress up as Nancy Drew in elementary school. That's how much of a brainiac I was. Which is funny because the year before I dressed up as a rock star. So really...
I thought you were going to say a rock.
No. That would have been fun though. But yeah, 3rd grade was like a pivotal year for me. 3rd grade, I became Nancy Drew. I had to wear a name tag.
Why?
To let people know who I was. Because people didn't know.
No one knows. How do they not know who she is?
Because I wasn't dressed up as Hannah Montana.
Okay, that's true. Did you read all the books? I read all the books.
Oh, yeah. I've had like the OG copies.
Is it bad? I want to kind of get them again. I know they're like for younger kids, but I want to get those books.
Listen, Nancy Drew was a badass.
She was a badass.
She's fierce.
We
stand Nancy Drew in this house. No.
I mean, it was still a good movie. It just didn't do her justice. No. Sorry, Hollywood.
Yeah, she's way too cool.
Okay,
but
I'm gonna put this
I'm gonna get us started.
I'm gonna put this down before I play Webkins the whole time and don't listen to you.
Yeah. Educate yourself.
Honestly, I do need to educate myself. It's so bad.
But so Carrie Amelia Nation.
Her name's Amelia.
Yeah, but they really went for this kid's throat. They literally named it Carrie A Nation. Like, the amount of weight on a toddler's shoulders that they just put on this girl, like...
Do her parents hate her?
I mean, I don't know.
Or maybe they knew she was destined for great things. Maybe we'll just go with that.
Yeah, she was destined to hatchet places. But Carrie, how it was... is Carrie. However, in like memorabilia and like in the press, it was spelled like Carrie, like Carry, like literally Carrie A Nation.
Okay, so literally the press screwed her
Yeah.
over. I'm having a stroke. Oh my god.
But she was born November 25th, 1846, and she was... Just a brief overview of her. She was an American activist who was a radical member of the temperance movement, which opposed alcohol before the advent of prohibition. She is noted for attacking alcohol-serving establishments, most often taverns, with a hatchet.
Don't we have a statue of her?
Yes, we do have a statue of her downtown. If you ever want to find her, she's actually... We should, because she's actually looking at one of the buildings that she hatcheted. That's why she's... What? Yeah, because she's facing one of the buildings... And she has an angry look on her face with a hatchet, and that's because she's about to go hatchet.
Okay, is it bad I want to show up with, like, an empty beer bottle and just, like, pretend I'm drinking
it? No, listen, it'd be fun.
Okay, can we just go take pictures next to all the statues? Because we have the sit-in statue
I know.
we can take a picture of. Carrie, let's just go take a picture with every single statue.
Do a statue tour downtown Wichita. It's lots of fun. But another thing that Carrie was worried about that I just want to lightly touch on because I think it's silly and funny, she was also concerned about tight clothing for women. And she refused to wear a corset and urged women not to wear them because of their harmful effects on vital organs. So not because she was like, it makes you too sexy. She was like, literally, girl, your liver. Get those kidneys out of there. Like, I respect that about her.
I mean, like, I get it, but I'd be more concerned about, like, the rib bones, not some of the vital organs.
Yeah, she went organs.
They're not fun.
No. But she described herself as a bulldog running along at the feet of Jesus, barking at what he doesn't like. Her words. She literally said, I'm a bulldog. Woof.
For Jesus.
You ever been a bulldog for Jesus?
Can I put that on a t-shirt?
That's what we should call this episode, Bulldog for Jesus.
There we go, done.
And she claimed a divine ordination. Me too. God, don't come for me.
I feel like I shouldn't drink during this episode. I'm gonna laugh the whole time.
Yeah. But, so, I mentioned earlier that her name is spelled two different ways. Mm-hmm. The reason why the press also started using Carrie, Carry, excuse me.
The alcohol's going to you.
Yeah. I don't even know if I mentioned what I was drinking. It's a hard seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
Zero sugar.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm on a diet. But...
As we had chili tonight and cornbread.
Listen, all gluten-free.
True.
Yeah, I put veggies in mine.
Did we?
I did. I put it in mine. You guys didn't.
Oh, the green onions?
Yeah, but I also added... What did I add in there? I think I had leftover with pepper.
When did you do that?
I'm a chef.
Okay.
But the name Carry was also used by her father in the family Bible. So upon her campaign against liquor in the early 20th century, she adopted the name Carrie.
Okay, so her dad screwed her over.
And she told the press that it meant Carry a Nation for prohibition. And then after gaining her notoriety, she officially registered it as a trademark. She trademarked her name. She said, that's mine.
I wish I had the balls to do that.
Listen, I respect her.
But also at the same time, never mind.
I know, it's a lot.
Just, never mind.
It's a lot.
I'm
so,
paying attention.
To get us into why she was super into the temperance movement, in 1865, Carrie met Charles Gold? Goyd?
It looks like gold.
I think it's gold. It's spelled Gloyd. And he's a young physician who had fought for the Union, and he was a severe alcoholic. And Gold taught school near the Moore's farm while deciding where to establish his medical practice. He eventually settled on Holden, Missouri, and asked Nation to marry him. Nation's parents objected to the union because they believed he was addicted to alcohol, but they got married anyway. And they were married on November 21st, 1867, but then they separated shortly before the birth of their daughter, Charlene.
Okay.
And then Gold died in 1869 of alcoholism. So her parents, like, predicted the future, I guess.
Psychic.
I know. They said, he gonna die.
Like, you ain't gonna be happy with him.
And
it's
so,
not gonna work out.
Because of that, even though they were separated, she developed a passionate activism against alcoholism.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I get it. It makes sense. Like, good for you, but a hatchet.
Yeah. So then, flash forward, like, 5 years. In 1874, Carrie married David A. Nation, an attorney, minister, newspaper journalist, and father who was 19 years older than her.
I mean, that's the worst I've heard, but it's also not great.
Yeah. So, like, I guess, in reality, her parents didn't really put that pressure on her. She put it on herself with Carrie A. Nation.
Yeah, because what was her original maiden name?
Gosh, I think it was, like, Carrie Moore.
Oh, yeah, Moore.
But then...
Because the Moore's farm, yeah.
Yeah. But then...
She did it to herself.
She married Nation.
She was like, how can I make this better for myself?
She said, I'm looking for, like, a catchphrase. I'm trying to get famous.
I'm trying to get famous. I want to be famous.
Like that vibe. Yeah. She's shooting on... I want to be famous.
Yeah, that would have sounded like you knew what I was talking about.
You know, one time, this organization that I'm involved in, I'm not going to name names, but they hosted a Vine party, and I almost showed up as the peanut butter baby. I was this close to slathering peanut butter all over my face. You can't see my fingers, but, like, they're really close together.
Yeah, they are really close together. They're basically touching. Dude,
but then I decided that I didn't want to do a face mask for the next week, so I didn't.
Dude, if I was at a Vine party, I'd show up as that,
I would legit go as a peanut butter baby. I have no shame.
No.
Can you imagine every time they ask you who you are, you go, ah.
Okay, I'd be that one that's like, that guy that's like, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
That one's a good one, or I would go.
Welcome to Chili's.
That one, well, no. You wear boxers. See,
I wear boxers.
I look like a burnt chicken nugget.
But I love myself.
I do that one.
I look like a burnt chicken nugget.
That one's also, or I would do the other one of the girl in the back seat. She has glitter plaster all over herself, and there's like, this like.
And it looks like the day after.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do that one. That one's also fun.
Okay, but think about it. If you show up already looking like the day after the party, imagine what you would look like the day after the party.
It'd be like her 10 years later. Because that girl was like 7 in that video.
Dude, we keep going off on tangents. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
I can't wait for you to edit this. Maybe you won't. Who knows?
Maybe I'm just going to leave everything in. It's just going to be an hour.
Hello, future Megan.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry. She began her temperance work, though, in the Medicine Lodge by starting a local branch of the Women's Christian Temperance Union and campaigning for the enforcement of Kansas's ban on the sale of liquor. Well, and her methods escalated quite quickly from simple protests to serenade seloon patrons, accompanied by her own personal, like, they call it a hand organ, but I know what it really was. It was one of those. It was an accordion. She had her own personal accordion going, "Stop drinking the liquor." Like, and Lord knows she was probably more tone deaf than me.
Can you imagine this lady? No corset, just
no corset, out in the open, just singing with her accordion. But
I wonder if she was mentally, like, as a person that's like, how much alcohol have you had? Or are you mentally okay?
You know, she was totally sober during this horrible
I know, but, like, if you think about it, outside a saloon, that's probably one of the most normal
so those two are both kind of tepid compared to her more harsher methods that she would later turn to. The turning point came when she would start to greet bartenders with pointed remarks such as, "Good morning, destroyer of men's souls." She would legit go, "Good morning, bringer of death," to these poor people. They're just trying to make a living. And then she also helped her, during this, like, whole movement, another thing that she also did, she helped her mother and her daughter during this time because they both had mental issues. Mm-hmm. So historians believe that she might have had a slight psychotic break before the first hatchet. And then dissatisfied with the results of her efforts because playing her little accordion was not enough, she began to pray to God for direction, and on June 5th, 1900, she felt she received her answer in the form of a heavenly vision.
Oh, no.
And she described it as, this is her in quotes, "The next morning I was awakened by a voice which seemed to be speaking in my heart. These words, go to Kiowa," and I think that's what it says.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's Kiowa. Nobody come from my throat. And my hands were lifted and thrown down to the words, "I'll stand by you." The words, "go to Kiowa," were spoken in a murmuring musical tone, low and soft, but "I'll stand by you" was very clear, positive, and empathetic. I was impressed with great inspiration. The interpretation was very plain. It was this: take something in your hands and throw at these places in Kiowa and smash them.
Okay, but can you just imagine, like, this girl that's like, "I'm the Bulldog for Jesus," and she's just like...
with her hand accordion and hatchet in tow. It's me, the Bulldog for Jesus.
It's me, the Bulldog for Jesus.
But, so that was her interpretation of her heavenly inspiration.
Congrats, lady.
Responding to this revelation, Nation gathered silver rocks known as smashers, as she liked to call them, and proceeded to...
rocks?
No, they're smashers, damn it. And she proceeded to Dobson's saloon on June 7th, and she announced to them, "Men, I have come to save you from a drunkard's fate." And then she began to destroy the shit out of the saloon. She just started throwing stuff. After that, she then proceeded to go to 2 other saloons in Kiowa. And then dissatisfied with the results of her efforts because playing her little accordion was not enough, she began to pray to God for direction, and on June 5th, 1900, she felt she received her answer in the form of a heavenly vision.
Oh, no.
And she described it as, this is her in quotes, "The next morning I was awakened by a voice which seemed to be speaking in my heart. These words, go to Kiowa," and I think that's what it says.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's Kiowa. Nobody come from my throat. And my hands were lifted and thrown down to the words, "I'll stand by you." The words, "go to Kiowa," were spoken in a murmuring musical tone, low and soft, but "I'll stand by you" was very clear, positive, and empathetic. I was impressed with great inspiration. The interpretation was very plain. It was this: take something in your hands and throw at these places in Kiowa and smash them.
Okay, but can you just imagine, like, this girl that's like, "I'm the Bulldog for Jesus," and she's just like...
with her hand accordion and hatchet in tow. It's me, the Bulldog for Jesus.
It's me, the Bulldog for Jesus.
But, so that was her interpretation of her heavenly inspiration.
Congrats, lady.
Responding to this revelation, Nation gathered silver rocks known as smashers, as she liked to call them, and proceeded to...
rocks?
No, they're smashers, damn it. And she proceeded to Dobson's saloon on June 7th, and she announced to them, "Men, I have come to save you from a drunkard's fate." And then she began to destroy the shit out of the saloon. She just started throwing stuff. After that, she then proceeded to go to 2 other saloons in Kiowa. And then when she was going to the 2 others, a tornado came through and destroyed those. So she thought, "Oh, this is God agreeing with me."
No,
so then she felt really empowered.
No, she didn't.
No, she did.
No. I will say, as a
So-
Midwesterner, the only way to accept the wrath of God is by a tornado. I will not accept anything else.
I wonder if she was just like us, like...
No, I don't think she was anything
No.
like
You know
us.
how, like, people will go out and watch tornadoes?
Oh, then yeah, she was probably, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I thought you were talking about, like, smashing.
Pioneers, they're just like us. They watch tornadoes from their front porches, too.
There's our episode. Pioneers, they're just like us.
No, they probably did think it was the like God.
Exactly. They're like, oh,
For
God.
us, we like. Like putting it on YouTube.
For us, we like to sit out there with a beer and being like,
Wow, this will make me Facebook famous.
wow, I have a good shot of this tornado.
So, she continued her destructive ways in Kansas, her fame spreading throughout through her growing arrest record.
How many times did she get arrested?
I think it says at the end.
Okay, perfect.
But, damn, it's a lot.
I mean...
her most famous one was, or not most famous, one of the big ones was here in Wichita. And she led a raid there, and her husband joked that she should use a hatchet next time for maximum damage. Nation replied, "That is the most sensible thing you have said since I married you." Can you imagine telling your wife to, like, hey, instead of using those smashers, you should go take a sharp hatchet these things. She goes, wow, a smart thought from you for once.
Can you imagine the look on the husband's face? He's like, I was joking, this was sarcasm, I'm done with you.
And on that note, the couple divorced in 1901. They had no children.
Where do I?
And for about 4 years, she lived in Guthrie, Oklahoma, until she got, like, herself all put together.
Can I just say this, though? No wonder they don't have any children. She's too busy using smashers to get rid of all the alcohol.
I feel like if he came near her, she'd throw a smasher at him.
Probably. He's like, I'm going to love you from a distance. You get this room to yourself. I get this room to myself. My room has padlocks.
Definitely. Salt around the outside, too, like no demons.
I have sage going.
Probably.
These poor people listening.
So then she continued her crusade alone, or she was accompanied by singing women. It would depend.
Okay.
And she would march into a bar and sing and pray while smashing things to smithereens. And between 1900 and 1910, she was arrested some 30 plus times.
Oh my God.
This is the name that they gave it. Hatchetations. I think it's hagitations. I'm just gonna call it that.
Let me see it. Where is it? Yeah, hagitations.
And she would also call them that. She said, I had a fit of hashitation. And would go smash things. And she paid her jail fines from lecture tour fees and the sale of souvenir hatchets.
Oh,
she would sign.
No. She started memorabilia. Got it.
And the souvenirs were provided by a Topeka, Kansas pharmacist. And engraved on the handle of the hatchet, the pin reads, "Death to rum." Nothing else, just rum.
Okay, so got it. We just got to get rid of rum.
Everything else is fine.
Everything else is fine. Got it. Got it.
Finally, in April 1901, Nation went to Kansas City, Missouri, a city known for its wide opposition to the temperance movement, and smashed liquor in various bars on 12th Street in downtown Kansas City. She was arrested and taken to court and fined $500, which roughly in 2017, this article did the math, and it would be about $15,000.
Oh,
during oh
my God. I wish.
Although the judge suspended the fine under the condition that Nation never returned to Kansas City. She would be arrested another 32 times. And
in Kansas City?
No, just all over.
So it's like 62.
She had over 60 arrests at this point. Probably, it was over 62.
I just want to say, if I were someone from Kansas City too, I'd be like, yeah,
you
would
have
have
thought
to pay
she would
your
have
fine.
been, hanged by now. 60 plus arrests.
I think they would just keep her in jail at that point. Just like, no, you can't get back out. You're going to destroy our liquor.
But she was also a white lady, so.
But still.
Just saying. But one report is that she was placed in the Washington, D.C. poorhouse for 3 days for refusing to pay a $35 fine. Which would have been like $100 or $150 now today.
But still.
Yeah.
At least she didn't have to pay the $1,500.
Yeah, the $500 one.
Yeah.
I will say a positive is that she was very fond of women's rights, and she led marches in Topeka. And she also led hundreds of women that were part of the Home Defenders Army to march in opposition to saloons. So, great that she was into women's rights. Not so good that she was...
Went about it the wrong way?
Kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy.
And then,
that's right.
Nation's anti-alcohol activities became widely known with the slogan, "All nations welcome but Carrie," becoming a barroom staple.
Okay,
so that's what they would put that. They would put it as a sign. We should put a sign up here.
Okay, but here's my thing. I want one of those original signs.
Okay, well, I'll do my best.
I don't have like $15.
I'll see if I can do it as a Christmas present.
Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be an original. It just has to be a sign that says.
Yes, and then she published newsletters. One of them called the Smashers Mail, which was a bi-weekly newsletter, and then the Hatchet, a newspaper.
I mean, at least she's innovative. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. She's making a name for herself.
So that's kind of like the end of her temperance movement phase.
Oh, she stopped smashing?
Well, not like the same. She started exploiting her name after that. And she would appear in vaudeville and music halls. And she was a proud woman, more given to sermonizing than entertaining. And she often found these venues uninspiring, but she really needed the money.
I mean, fair. She got arrested 62 plus times.
Yeah, I can't imagine the debt she was in at that point.
Yeah, I don't want to.
But one of a number of pre-World War I acts that failed to click, quote unquote, with foreign audiences. Nation was struck by an egg thrown by an audience member during one 1909 music hall lecture at the Canterbury Theatre of Varieties in Westminster, London.
How did she get to London though if she's poor?
Well, because she was part of the vaudeville group. So they were like, look, meet Carrie, a nation. She hatcheted all these places and brought prohibition in.
No wonder she got hit with an egg.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I'd hit her with an egg.
I'd hit her with a tomato.
No, because then she's got to pick shells out of her hair for like weeks. Beautiful. So the
anti-South Queen ripped up her contract and returned to the United States after that one egg was thrown at her. She said, none of this. And then so seeking profits elsewhere, she sold photographs of herself. She did lectures, and she marketed miniature souvenir hatchets. And then in October 1909, various press outlets reported that Nation claimed to have invented an aeroplane. She hadn't. I think this was the mental health problems making a recurrence.
Unless she, like, created something that she thought would be an airplane, but, like, didn't know what an airplane...
No, she told the press it's an aeroplane. But she didn't invent that.
No.
They had already had stuff at that point.
The Wright brothers invented that, but okay.
Yeah. So, she's just feeling crazy. And so, this is where she becomes a conspiracy theorist. Suspicious that President McKinley was a secret drinker, Nation applauded his 1901 assassination because drinkers got what they deserved.
No, she
didn't. So she went from save the drinkers to
annihilate them.
Annihilate them all. She said choke, basically, to them.
She's like, I tried.
Yes.
Jesus.
And then towards the end of her life, Nation moved to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, where she founded the home known as Hatchet Hall.
Of course she did.
And in poor health, she collapsed during a speech in Eureka Springs Park after proclaiming, "I have done what I could." And then she was taken to the hospital in Leavenworth, Kansas, the Evergreen, on 25 acres She was taken to a hospital in Leavenworth, Kansas, called the Evergreen Place Hospital and Sanitarium, and it's located on 25 acres at Limit Street and South Maple Avenue, just outside the city limits. Evergreen Place Hospital was founded and operated by Charles Goddard, a professor at the University of Kansas, so go KU, and a distinguished authority on nervous and mental troubles, liquor, and drug habits.
Okay, so I'm glad she went to a place that was a hospital and sanitarium because she needs it.
She needs a little bit of help. And she ended up passing away there on June 9th, 1911. She was buried in an unmarked grave in Belton City Cemetery in Belton, Missouri. And the Women's Christian Temperance Union later erected a stone inscribed, "Faithful to the cause of prohibition, she hath done what she could," and the name Carrie A. Nation.
Well,
and that's the story of
she did
Carrie
the most.
A. Nation.
She did the most, but I don't think...
The bulldog fighting for Jesus.
Jesus is Bulldog!
We wish we could be Jesus' bulldog.
Can you just imagine, like, Jesus' all powerful?
I'm just imagining her face poorly edited onto a bulldog barking at things that Jesus says no to.
Or instead of barking, just being like, bang, no. Just like her.
Or like a hatchet between his teeth going, arr.
Can you imagine a little tiny bulldog running around a bar, just like destroying everything?
Listen.
You can imagine that too, okay. Well, I can tell you right now, Carrie's gonna hate me.
I can't wait. Educate me.
I'll educate you on some moonshine.
Yeehaw!
Like I said, I was gonna do how it was made, but then I was like, anyone who listens to this could then do it wrong, poorly, and get hurt if I don't do it correctly.
Yeah, and we don't want you guys to go blind on us.
Or die. So I decided to just leave that all out.
Smart.
I had to use like 3 different websites just because I wanted to get a bunch of stuff in there. So I used history.com.
Oh, I didn't list mine.
Nah, you're okay.
Mine's the first page of Google.
Perfect.
There you go.
Sciencehowstuffworks.com. And then Mental Floss.
I love that name.
Okay. Right? They have a lot of good stuff on there too. So, just to start out, the definition of moonshine is whiskey or other strong alcoholic drinks made and sold illegally.
Okay, so it's anything that's alcoholic that is under the table sold.
Basically.
Love that.
Basically. The term moonshine has actually been around since the late 15th century.
Respect.
But then it says, but was used first for alcohol in the 18th century.
Gotcha.
So it was like for something else, and then 18th century they put it toward alcohol. So 18th century England used it to any type of alcohol. It could be wine, beer, any of it was called moonshine.
None of it was safe.
Either that or all of it was safe. We don't know.
Yes.
I will say moonshine can be made from anything that can be fermented, such as fruit, sugar, grain, milk. But here's the problem with moonshine. There's no upper limit on alcohol content. You can go up to like however high you want. Over 100 proof. There's some that are like 200 proof.
So it's rubbing alcohol at that point. Okay,
basically,
great.
Basically. That's why moonshine's illegal, because there's no like FDA people to be like, hey, you can't do that.
Why don't they FDA it?
If you notice, like, moonshine is sold in stores now, but it's not like the only reason it's called moonshine.
I guess it's branded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Real true moonshine is one that is not branded.
I love that.
Yeah, most people drink it out of mason jars.
Classic.
Yes. So in the early frontier days, moonshine was a part-time job for farmers to help them get through the bad years. So
yes,
it's like, crops didn't do well, sell some moonshine, we'll get some more money.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking.
Fair.
I was like, do what you gotta to get by. And then, however, the industry really began picking up when the American government started taxing and controlling alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah. The name actually comes from early moonshiners who worked during the night in moonlight to avoid being caught by the authorities. So, moonshiners.
I respect that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but now you're not going to respect it as much because now we have something called the Whiskey Rebellion.
Was it a bunch of frat guys going, this whiskey sucks?
Oh, I wish, but no, it's not.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
No, it was an uprising of farmers. And distillers in western Pennsylvania in 1794 to protest the alcohol tax. So, the rebellion was people who were completely against whiskey being taxed at all.
Okay. Don't get in between a man and his whiskey. We hear you.
But the people against it built support for the Republicans who overtook the Federalist Party in 1802. The Whiskey Rebellion is considered one of the first major test of the authority of the newly formed U.S. government.
Oh.
The whiskey tax protest began with, they started out just like normal protesting things. We're not doing it. And then it became arguing. No one died, but like 15 people were injured.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I have to preface this. No one died, but like...
No one died, but people definitely got...
It didn't end well.
They definitely got injured. But under the new law, large producers paid an annual tax rate of 6 cents per gallon.
Oh, okay.
Which for them isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
But small producers paid an annual of 9 cents a gallon. Oh. And so farmers had the issue of only being able to have cash being accepted for payments. But they didn't usually have cash. Like, they were trading other things. And because of refusals to pay the taxes, the law was an immediate failure.
I love that. Like, how immediate? Was it, like, a year?
Yeah.
Okay. They tried it.
Farmers were just like, I'm not doing it.
They go, what are you going to do? Tax me?
It didn't work the first time. However, taxes on alcohol came back during the Civil War to fund the war. But before the war, the moonshiners were seen as heroes because they were like, we're fighting against...
big government.
But the view of them shifted to being violent criminals because it's like, you're supposed to be helping fund the war for freedom.
Oh, okay. I get that.
But ultimately, back in 1920, they were seen as heroes again. Because prohibition.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. She would hate me. So they were seen as... you alcoholic. Why I oughta. Jesus and his Bulldog are mad at me.
She and her Bulldog really coming to get you.
Yeah, probably. If there's any ghost haunting the apartment, it's going to be her. Because she's like, I heard alcohol.
She's going to come for us. She
probably.
says, I heard you were talking about the temperance movement.
Honestly. So during Prohibition, there wasn't any alcohol being sold anymore. So moonshiners were seen as like gods, basically.
I love that.
Oh my god, great. So organized crime took over the moonshine industry during that time, like setting up speakeasies and having secret distilleries and everything.
That makes sense.
And distilleries popped up all over the country, especially organized crime is all over the place.
That's true. That makes sense.
The producers had started actually selling watered down moonshine based on sugar and not corn, so it was more watered down, so they could charge more, but make less, basically.
Make more?
Like,
why would they make less?
They make more money, but they don't actually have to do as much work on the alcohol.
Oh, okay. I was like, they're making more money. What do you mean?
Make more money, make less actual alcohol.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But people didn't really care because they're like, oh my god, alcohol. We can't get it anywhere.
That's true. Nobody cared. They said anything's enough.
But here's the bad part of that, once again. Since moonshine is made illegally, the FDA isn't a part of it. So there were bad batches due to poor production techniques, like distilling in car radiators.
Shut the front door.
They used car radiators to, like, distill their alcohol.
Oh my god.
And because of these bad batches, people could go blind.
Yeah.
Or worse, die.
We had options.
We have options. However, it can be made correctly to where it's very strong and doesn't kill you or make you go blind.
Okay, that's good. Happy for them.
Yeah. So when made correctly, it's very strong with a hard taste or a kick. And it's relatively as safe as other alcohols. You just have to it's based on how much you consume. Like, if you were drinking like a 5% compared to like a 13%, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
So when distillers wanted to add more kick, quote unquote,
Uh-huh.
they would add things like manure, embalming fluid, bleach, rubbing alcohol, and paint thinner.
Was the embalming fluid used?
I don't think so. I don't think they would go to a dead body and just out the embalming fluid.
Like I guess it's a little bit better. The manure is disgusting.
Well, you gotta remember, paint thinner and rubbing alcohol, bleach, it's all poisonous. Like, all this stuff is poisonous. I even put in parentheses, big bold letters, poisonous!
In case you forgot that they are poisonous.
You never know.
At least we forget.
You never know.
That's true.
So, moonshiners aren't always the people who were distributing it. So there's a difference between moonshiners and bootleggers.
Oh.
Bootleggers are the people who actually smuggle it. Like, moonshiners make it, and then they give it to bootleggers to go take it away.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And the term bootleggers refers to them hiding flask in the top of their boots around the 18th. It's because these have those really tall riding boots, so they just stick them in the top right there. So they keep their name bootleggers, but as cars began showing up, bootleggers became anyone who smuggled alcohol.
Oh.
So anyone who had any illegal alcohol was a bootlegger now.
I love
instead
that.
Of people who just had it.
I always thought the term bootleggers came from pirates.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because it just seemed a little more dated. But that makes sense.
I mean, I guess if they have a flask of alcohol in their boot, they're technically a bootlegger.
I mean, now you can make a flask out of anything. There's a flask that's like a bra.
There's a flask that's a scrunchie.
Now that's inventive.
Or not a scrunchie, it's a bangle. I'm sorry, but you can put a scrunchie over it so it looks like a scrunchie.
Y'all, I remember I had the first bangle I got. It was from Justice.
Oh God, was it this little skin thinny one?
Yeah,
Skin thinny. Yeah.
No,
I'm having a stroke.
Remember the chunky white jewelry they had?
Yes.
I really thought I was doing something.
Thin and skinny. That's what I was trying to say.
I would love that for you,
guys. I'm having a stroke.
No, I really thought I was doing something when I showed up with my chunky, like clangy white jewelry going.
Like your pink tracksuit.
We don't talk about my pink tracksuit. I also had a green one and a blue one. I really thought I was doing something.
I love that picture. Okay, so you're gonna get a kick.
Let me.
Are you playing Budkins?
Shh, I'm listening.
Okay. So mechanics found ways to modify engines in cars to not only hide the moonshine for transport as much as they could, but to make their cars better so when they were running from the law, they could drive faster.
I love that.
And so, of course, they're running from the law, and most of them didn't get caught, so...
And then they became famous.
Their driving became pretty good.
Yeah.
So in their free time, they started racing each other.
I love this.
Which would be the start of NASCAR. Yes, moonshine led into NASCAR somehow. It makes sense, but I don't like it.
The math checks out. Math checks out, yeah.
So, a moonshiner gave seed money to NASCAR's founder, Bill France, during the 1930s, 40s, and 50s.
We love an undercover moonshiner, I guess? Bootlegger?
I don't know what he was.
He was in on it.
He was a silent partner, I guess.
He was there.
And the first ever NASCAR winner's car was used to make a bootleg run the week prior to him winning.
Now that's an icon. My God.
I don't know if it was the actual driver, but the car was used.
I would hope so.
But at the same time...
because you know the car the best.
But there's also, pit crews in NASCAR, so they know the car better than the actual driver most of the time.
That's true. You only have to turn left.
You do only have to turn left.
And accelerate. You use your brake maybe twice.
You use your brake to slow down and get into the pit.
Like I said, twice.
But yeah.
How often do they go to the pit?
I've seen some cars that go, like, every other lap because, like, they're going so fast. So, like, their tires need, like, rotated or something. Or they need gas or something. I don't know. How many laps is